Think your neighbor starting an HOA feud over hedges is unhinged. Meet Captain Robert Jenkins, the Florida man of 1731, whose entire personality trait became a severed ear. Picture this: 12 Spanish Guardia Costa thugs boarding his ship Rebecca like a pack of coked-up Walmart greeters demanding receipts. They didn't just question his trade permits, they treated his left ear like a piñata and handed it back with a breezy, "Show this to your king, idiot." So, what does Jenkins do? Not therapy, not a career change. No, he pickle jars that cartilage like it's a Grammy nomination. 7 years later in Parliament, this human landfill fire whips out his shriveled ear trophy like a PTA mom presenting a burnt casserole. Britain collectively loses its damn mind harder than my ex-wife Karen at a McRib shortage. Politicians foam-flecked his earcumentary into justification for a 9-year global conflict costing thousands of lives. Let's autopsy the stupidity. One dude's botched plastic surgery got 2 empires trading cannonballs like middle schoolers flinging pudding cups. Spaniards are over here enforcing trade laws with pirate cosplay. Brits are scowling over a tax loophole dispute solved with Napoleonic bloodshed. Modern equivalent. Your barista declares thermonuclear war because you asked for oat milk after payment. Here's the kicker: Jenkins lived. The ear snipping failed to unalive him but succeeded in making him history's most embarrassing causality. Ground Zero wasn't some noble ideal, nope. Just a trash captain wanting compensation for his personal humiliation. The true WTF. Parliament debated this boiled leather puppet like it was the Zapruder film. Moral: humanity would charge war crimes to their visa for a sniff of drama. Jenkins' shriveled racinette proved empires loved nothing more than cartoon violence dressed as justice. That ear wasn't a symbol, it was a prophecy. 5 words clinched a body count. Does it hurt now, sir? 1831. Jenkins captains the Rebecca. A name suggesting pastoral innocence, but operating like a floating Superfund site. Picture a man whose navigation skills peaked at tax evasion, steering a ship with all the competence of a TikTok influencer doing brain surgery. The empire hired this wall-eyed liability. Why? Because talent acquisition meant scraping the cowboy section of Indeed under previous experience. Pirate adjacent. England's big brain scheme. Violate Spanish trade routes harder than a frat boy violating fire codes. Legal? Barely. Moral? Only if your ethics professor was a raccoon. But Jenkins, bless his tenderized cod of a soul, outsourced his sailing strategy to Bacchus. His logbook read like AA meeting minutes. Lost 6 hours near Cuba because moon looked sus. Collided with a sandbar he swore was God's speed bump. Somehow mistook Jamaica for an all-you-can-eat regret buffet. Smuggling. Obviously. Slaves. Buried in manifests under questionable staffing choices. Spaniards roll up Coast Guard equivalent of mall cops on Adderall demanding inspection. Jenkins goes full surrender monkey before they finish docking. No, yo-ho-ho. Just a soggy white flag fashioned from his bar tab receipts. Captain Juan Leon Fandinho confiscates cargo. Spots Jenkins' ledger documenting atrocities with the subtlety of a FB burner account. The erectomy moment. A Waldorf salad of bad decisions. Fandinho snips Jenkins' left lobe not as trophy, the Spaniard clarifies, but as a receipt for crimes against humanity. Symbolism, poetic, pain level, reportedly made Jenkins scream like my nephew discovering algebra. Medical outcome, positive, removed 30% of his stupid, dumbest variable. Jenkins wasn't the victim he Hallmark specialed later. Parliament ignored his crew's testimony about his drunken incompetence because eyewitnesses lacked panache. Also buried. Spanish captains were legally required to execute pirates under 1713 Treaty of Utrecht. A lobe was basically gift trap mercy, like cops ticketing the Unabomber for illegal parking. Modern equivalent. El Chapo captures an DEA agent, shaves his eyebrow, then sends him home with cash for Uber. Moral. Empires adore justifying bloodshed with performative victimhood, tweet-sized grievances metastasized into millennia of beef. That severed ear wasn't war propaganda. It was humanity's self-destruct button wearing costume jewelry. Jenkins waddles back to London hauling formaldehyde-soaked proof of Spanish brutality, like Elan dragging a Twitter fail compilation to a TED talk. Parliamentary reception. Immediate standing ovation from MPs who'd sell their mothers for a colonial sugar tax bump. Funnier still, Jenkins had previously been indicted 4 times for illegal slaving under Royal Africa Company policies, which Parliament redacted faster than an OnlyFans influencer scrubbing her Pornhub history. His CV now read, professional victim/ear enthusiast. The show and tell from hell commences. Military lobbyists hire a taxidermist to jazz up Jenkins' shriveled cartilage into a prop worthy of Vegas magic shows. Think David Copperfield's Disappearing Act, but with British imperialism. The ear toured taverns in a velvet-lined box like the Ark of the Covenant, if it contained Kardashian lip filler. Opposition leader William Pulteney weaponized it in speeches, screaming, "Behold the war crime," while conveniently forgetting their own navy routinely hanged pirates with their ears intact under Piracy Act 1721. Hypocrisy scale. Post-bankruptcy Trump selling MAGA hats from China. Robert Walpole, the exhausted prime minister, knew this was warmongering bullshit bingo. He privately called Jenkins a walking PR stunt who couldn't navigate a bathtub without drowning. Yet mercantile magnates shoved 600 grand in lobbying bribes down MPS throats, colonial investments version of OnlyFans tips. Modern equivalent. BP executives funding climate activists who accidentally spill oil on Pelosi's driveway. Strategic victimhood. Parliament's debate climaxed with MPs passing the pickled ear around like a communion wafer dipped in rage. One Tory vomited mid-session, not from moral outrage, but because the formaldehyde smelled like my ex-wife Karen's vegan leather purse. Yet when Walpole demanded evidence of Spanish treaty violations, crickets. Just 13 pages of Jenkins' tearful testimony mapping his earache to national honor. The 18th century version of linking Xbox Live trash talk to 9/11. Vote results. 292 warmongers vs 136 sane people. The ear's magic trick. Distracting everyone from Britain's own treasure fleets smuggling opium into China by framing Fandinho as the Latin Genghis Khan. History's lesson. Give a lobbyist a martyr and they'll burn a continent for shareholder dividends. From slaver to saint in 6 parliamentary minutes. Because empires hoard alibis like Twitter hoards verified Nazis. Jenkins retired to Bermuda, still rich, still trading humans, occasionally renting out his scar tissue for political puppet shows. Spain's rebuttal. We clipped one ear. Britain colonized tinnitus. The war launched with all the dignity of Florida man storming Cuba. Bloodbath duration, 8 years. Body count, 30,000. Territory swapped, 0 financial cost. Bankrupted both nations into launching even dumber wars over Ohio Valley beaver pelts. Real insult. Britain named this catastrophe the War of Jenkins Ear, memorializing a slave trader's bad Tuesday skincare routine. The real tragedy began when Britain, hyped on victory champagne, tried capturing Portobello, Panama with the subtlety of a drunk frat boy keying Spain's colonial Cadillac. Admiral Vernon arrived with 186 warships, enough firepower to turn the hemisphere into a BBQ pit. His target, a mosquito paradise where humidity weaponized dysentery into biblical floods of ass plague. Spain's defense strategy, delegate security to malaria mosquitoes with employee of the month work ethic. Britain won Portobello after 2 hours of firing cannons at palm trees. Celebrations lasted until soldiers realized Spain had abandoned it deliberately, like finding out your luxury apartment is a meth lab for closure. Vernon posed for victory portraits while his men melted into puddles of dengue fever sweat. 25,000 corpses later, Britain held a port with all the strategic value of a trench foot epidemic. Then Spain politely rebuilt Portobello elsewhere, like rebuilding your ex's IKEA dresser after they smugly destroyed it with a plastic spoon. Except empires treat useless land like my ex-wife Karen treats pyramid schemes. doubling down after bankruptcy. Vernon, now hallucinating promotions, attacked Cartagena, convinced conquering Spain's jewel port would make him immortal. Reality check. He brought sailboats to a germ warfare convention. Cartagena's governor Blas de Lezo, aka half-man, after losing an eye, arm, and leg in previous wars, controlled the battlefield with the vicious elegance of a TikTok surgeon removing kidneys via livestream. His garrison, 500 syphilis-riddled sailors and 1 ram with commitment issues. Vernon attacked during dry season, meaning it only rained 4 hours daily while typhus mosquitoes performed synchronized dive bombs into British groins. Satire writes itself. 30,000 Brits vs 600 Spanish defenders. Britain lost 60 ships after their cannonballs bounced off Cartagena's walls like Nerf darts. Casualty ratio. Follow the diarrhea math. 15,000 British troops evaporated into lime cholera smoothies. Spain lost 50 people, mostly from laughter-induced hernias. Vernon fled wearing a disguise kit made of shame and goat feces. The domino effect. Britain spent taxpayers' annual rum budget bombing one abandoned port while Spain casually reconstructed it using slave labor and spite. Cost analysis. The war's final price could have bought every British citizen a lifetime supply of crumpets and PTSD therapy. Instead, it financed history's dumbest sequel, the War of Austrian Succession, where everyone fought over a woman's uterus like it was the last charging port at Heathrow. The moral: humanity will Pavlov itself into extinction for the dopamine hit of almost winning. Empires would rather disintegrate than admit they misread the map. So Europe collectively decided the War of Jenkins Ear needed the diplomatic equivalent of slapping a kick-me sign on a coma patient. Enter the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle, history's most expensive participation trophy. After 9 years of hemorrhaging troops and dignity, Britain won the right to receive £95,000 from Spain, payable to the South Sea Company. Let me repeat that for those with CTE from rugby. The slavers got their insurance claim. Robert Jenkins retired to Bermuda as governor, a promotion for losing a body part like it was a corporate team-building trust exercise. The Ear's revenge, more like a tax write-off. Here's the punchline. 0 colonies changed hands. Spain kept Cartagena. Britain got nothing but bragging rights at London's most syphilitic pubs. The reparations weren't for Jenkins' cartilage. They compensated Spain's overzealous customs enforcement against ships transporting voluntary interns with questionable aquatic hobbies. South Sea Company execs snorted the settlement money off Venetian courtesans, while their slaves kept dying in humidity dens. Parliament later compassionately restructured the company by cutting their slave quota from 5,600 per year to a chillier 4,800. Genocide with ESG scores. Modern analogy. Imagine suing McDonald's because they confiscated your Happy Meal toy, then the court awards damages to your meth dealer. Spain paid Britain's human traffickers with money embezzled from Incan graves in a circular firing squad of colonial grift. And the real kicker, this whole ear-shaming spectacle was just the pregame before the 7 Years' War, where Europe would sacrifice 2 million lives fighting over Ohio swamps and sugar islands like actual toddlers smearing feces on a risk board. Final WTF confession. The severed ear itself likely didn't exist. Jenkins probably showed Parliament a dried apricot or his ex-wife's toenail clippings. Modern forensics confirm his evidence jar contained maritime mold and performance anxiety. But empires don't need facts. They need excuses to cosplay Vikings while defaulting on their loans. Dark moral. Humanity will always choose the stupidest option if it comes with a receipt for plausible deniability. War's just performance art for accountants. CTA. Smash that like button if you'd trade an ear for a pension. Subscribe to remember why your ancestors swam here.